Hello.
Previously on Mothers from Other Brothers.
Oh, we're doing previously on?
What's going on?
Oh, that's got to be the keyframe is Doug blowing a snot rocket.
Did that show? Did you see the rocket come out?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Ropes.
I got paper. I got towel all over the floor.
Sure you do.
I don't give a
All
shit.
right, John, you kick us off, man, because you got kicked off last week inadvertently.
Yeah, that sucked last week. I was without internet for like 4 hours. I felt like I was back in the fucking dark ages. I don't know what to do.
St. Elon. Patron saint of internet.
So how was everyone's week?
Good.
Busy.
Long, expensive.
Anything exciting?
Spent close to over $50 on a half a tank of gas.
I paid taxes, insurances for the year.
No one
Fire
here wants to
insurance,
talk
health
to me
insurance.
about gas.
That's
Thanks,
we
Obama.
actually we do want to talk to you
Where
about
you're
gas.
wrong. That's why we asked you to come on last night, dingbat. But
So I fill up pretty much nightly because I drive between 250 to 300 miles a night.
how many gallons in your vehicle?
If it's completely empty, 11, but it never. My car is one of those cars when it's on empty, you still have 3 gallons left. So I'm usually putting in about 8 gallons.
Now, Rook, what's the cost of gas in Florida? Just out of curiosity.
4:30.
$4.39, but
You guys are better than us.
I use an app. Like so, yesterday I saved 25 cents off per gallon. So
I use that to Get Upside.
No, mine's Gas Buddy.
I've been using
Yeah.
Get Upside. I only save like 3 or 5 cents depending on where I go, but I think $4.20 is what I paid.
It all just depends. So yesterday I think I paid $4.14 for gas. But yeah, it's.
Are you basically spending as much as you are making it in return doing the job, or are you making more money?
No, let's say I spent. We'll go high and say I spent $200 on gas last week. I made $1,400. So.
But
Why
still,
not?
the cost of gas factors in to your direct profits that you make
Direct
off of it. Am I
profits.
correct? Is
It
that a correct
does.
statement? Okay.
It does, but the company I work for, they run bonuses. So like this week, there was a $400 bonus if you hit X amount of rides.
Be right back.
Well, I hit that yesterday. So that makes up for said gas.
Yeah, understood. But still, to the point that if gas was cheaper, you would have made more money in the overall grand
Well, of
scheme.
course.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, and you get to write it off on your taxes at the end of the year. Is that a correct statement?
Right. Well, the way it works for me is I can either write off my mileage or I can go hardcore and figure out how much depreciation my car has gotten, write off my Spotify, write off everything. And then it just gets super complicated.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're an independent contractor, right?
Correct. I can write off-
That's how you make money, is doing it that way, though.
Yeah.
I'm in Wet Works.
So
I pee on people for a little.
last
Motherfucker
night,
Jones.
last night I legitimately had a ride. I picked up these 2 people on 5th Avenue, an older married couple, and they're like, "Hold on, we're bringing this lady with us. John, your camera's out of focus, or you have a smudge on your screen. One of the two."
No, his camera's gone in and out of focus before. It's got a weird autofocus setting.
That made it worse.
Oh my god! It looks like you're in like a
There you
torture
go. There we
chamber,
go.
like a military torture prison.
You're good.
But so these old white people get in the car, and then they bring in this Spanish lady who is completely obliterated. They said they found her on 5th Avenue alone, passing out.
Heck
Hi,
yeah!
Kim. And so they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna pay to take this lady home so she doesn't get raped or murdered." I'm like, "That's fair."
That's bullshit. They just need a new housekeeper, and you know it.
No, we found
Staples
This is how the movie
Avenue.
Get Out started.
I know how this game is played.
so we go to her house, and to our right is an apartment complex. To our left is a house. One map is telling me it's the place on the right. One map is telling me it's the place on the left, of course. We went through the entire apartment complex. As we stood in the road and we're like, do you live over here or over here? She's like, no.
No comprende.
So we go through the entire complex. That's not it. We realize that the house, when you get into the driveway, you can see the numbers. They're like this big. And she's like, oh, this is my house. We're like, we stood in front of this for 10 minutes, you drunk bitch. How do you not know this is your house? She started getting mean with the lady who bought her the ride home. I'm like, you need to shut up or I'm going to leave you on the side of the road. Like, I don't care. I'm not the one being nice here.
Did she thank you guys and make you like empanadas or anything like that?
There were no empanadas. She tried to drag the woman's husband into her house though, and it was really funny to watch.
Oh boy.
No, it's okay.
John,
But,
how does gas costs affect your job? Do you like have a company credit card for gas?
I have a company card. It affects me none. I fill my tank up like every day and a half. It's usually around $100, and it does not come out of my paycheck. It doesn't hurt me at all. It hurts my boss, but
obviously.
fuck that guy. I don't give a shit.
John,
I'm the one person that's happy gas is so high right now because I'm like, fuck you, boss. I'm gonna sit in this parking lot for 20 minutes with the AC on high, just sitting here, just burning your motherfucking fuel. How do you like them apples, you fucking cocksucker?
So he's not a subscriber.
He's not a subscriber.
So
He's an asshole. Fuck that guy.
Can anyone tell me when the last time oil was this high?
It's never been.
If I had to get, well, like, are we factoring in like inflation to the time?
Nope, just straight up oil barrels and gas prices.
If I had to guess, it would probably be 2008, 2009.
2008 under George Bush.
Yep.
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
I've got a whole article on it right here.
It's still Obama's fault. I don't know why we're even discussing this. Just thanks, Obama.
If we actually adjusted for inflation, I think this is probably comparable to Carter in '79.
I was talking to somebody about that the other day. I don't think it'll get that bad, but I was telling John the other day, Arcadia was out of gas.
Right.
Because all the farmers went and bought all the gas up. And so when stuff like that happens, it artificially raises the cost even more because it demands a need that isn't actually there. So
what you're saying is Putin got all those farmers to get gas?
No, what I'm saying is those farmers got nervous and started overbuying. When you're filling 50-gallon drums in the back of your truck, things are kind of going sideways.
Well, I mean, that's their business. That's depending on how much they make that year. I kind of get that.
I kind of get that too. I'd probably do the same thing if I was in their shoes.
Me and John had this discussion though. Most farmers' equipment that I've ever seen use diesel, correct?
Correct.
So why are they out of gas?
That's because that's not entirely
generators.
True. That's not entirely true.
Most generators use diesel. If you're using a big generator.
Yeah, but you got to think not all farmers are using horses anymore. They're using 4-wheelers and a lot of tractors, a lot of lawn tractors, small engines run on gas. Yeah.
Watch Yellowstone. It explains everything, boys.
I mean,
Yellowstone's the answer for everything.
Let me tell you what I've not done in weeks. Watched any television at all.
Really?
I highly recommend Yellowstone.
I literally haven't watched the TV at all.
I heard it's good.
Yellowstone may be one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I'm not even fully done with it yet, but I'm chugging along to where it's like it's one of the first things I've watched in years that's held my attention to where I want to keep watching it. But I also have been, unlike Paul, I've been giving myself breaks so I don't finish it right away. It's really fucking good. It's fucking good, man.
I'm almost caught up to where you were last night. I don't know if you watched any today, but I'm almost caught up to where the second time, my second go.
That's how I felt when I watched DC Cab the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Paul nailed it on the Yeah, it is. Paul nailed it on the head, though. It's basically The Godfather on a cattle ranch, and it's never made me. There's nothing in this world that has ever made me want to ride a horse or try my hand at being a cowboy than this fucking show. It is so good. So good.
Kim said, sorry, Kim, I'm not doing my job that great. Kim said gas was high in 2005, and she also says last time I went to Florida, it was $4.25. I don't remember it being higher, but what the fuck do I?
I remember it being in close to $4 during when Hurricane Charlie came. Like that would have been around the Bush era. Like
I remember it being well over $4.
Yeah, I remember that being the most expensive, and then I just over time.
In Florida has those quite often, those natural disasters that happen that artificially increase it in that area. This is globally, but nationwide.
Nationwide is on your
side. I had a passenger from Italy last night, and man, let me tell you how much that woman hates Putin.
Oh, from Italy!
She talk with her hands like this.
Very
hey, let me tell you something, buddy.
Very much so. She's like, the gas prices, blah 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 blah, insanity, and she's like, then she started going on a rant about how everyone's worried about the Ukraine, but they're not worried about all the other smaller wars that are happening. Just because this is Putin, people care. So I'm not sure. She didn't reference anything by name.
Oh, countries get invaded by other countries every single day.
But she didn't bring up any in specific. So
I don't know if we talked about it last week on this show, but remember Coney 2012? Remember that whole thing about the child? That guy is still out there with the child army.
Yeah, but that started before 2012. Like that shit started way before that.
He's got like $1 billion bounty on his head, though. That guy today.
Yeah.
But you know, it's.
I mean, the difference is what every reason that we care about anything in the world is it's oil, and as we learned this week, we have 5 biolabs in Ukraine that we've been funding over the years that we're now shit scared are going to get in the hands of the Russians.
That's not good. We don't want that to happen.
No, that's how Raccoon City started. That was the testing site.
I would have liked to have known that there was, biolabs that we were funding in Ukraine.
Why?
Because that's not something we should learn. That's not something we should learn about in the middle of an invasion of a country that we're funding bioweapons labs.
No
shit. You know what, Paul? It's none of your fucking business. How about that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's hypothetically say that a biolab leaks, I don't know, a disease into the world, and then the whole world is under a pandemic, and the whole world is under a pandemic, and like maybe a year into it, we find out that we were funding that lab.
John, I'm not saying I agree with Paul one way or the other. I'm just saying I've heard people say that'll never. I heard people say Donald Trump's running for president. That'll never happen. I've heard that a lot, dude.
That'll never happen. It's totally false. It's fake news. And now we just got banned from fucking YouTube. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for fucking destroying the show.
That's okay. We're also on Odyssey and Rumble then.
Not on this show. I'll build an Odyssey and a Rumble account if we ever do get kicked off YouTube.
I don't want to be a member of any club that doesn't want to have me as their member anyway.
Everything that I've seen on the labs is just, so far, it's not confirmed.
It's confirmed. It got confirmed in a Senate hearing. I watched it live. Here's the story of the biolabs. So last Sunday, Putin says, well, one of the reasons we're going in is because we want to make sure there's safety with the U.S.-funded biolabs. And the whole world was like, oh, look at Putin spreading more propaganda. And on Monday, the U.S. government came out and said, we have no biolabs in Ukraine. That is an outright lie. And then Tuesday came around, and they had a Senate hearing, and they go, okay, there's biolabs, but we're not funding them. And then Wednesday came around, and they said, okay, there is biolabs that we're funding, but there's no biological weapons in those biolabs. And then Thursday came around and said, okay. They are bioweapons research facilities that we're funding, but there's no bioweapons, and it's of grave concern that we make sure Putin doesn't get his hands on that research. It is confirmed. I watched it come from the Deputy Secretary of State's mouth. I watched her say it under threat of perjury.
I don't know what's more ridiculous, the fact that that's a reality or the fact that my brother watches that much LawTube. Like, he watches
C-SPAN.
hours.
No, that's C-SPAN.
C-SPAN. Oh.
That's C-SPAN.
The fucking Jussie Smollett sentencing. It's when you told me, you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to talk about this. And I'm like, who the hell watches that shit? Like, who watched that case? You're like, I watched all of it. And I'm like, wow, okay.
That was LogTube. That was Nate the lawyer.
And he really got snubbed at the Oscars this year. Just saying.
Oh, he'll be getting snubbed in the showers too.
I just saw the TMZ report. I think Doug, you sent it to me.
Which one?
He's from jail. He's now saying the only reason he got jail time is because he's black.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I take anything from TMZ with a grain of salt, but just to see that as a headline, it's like, oh, I really. That's why you think you got sentenced?
To me, the biggest
jury fund.
Anyway. To me, the biggest revelation from his sentencing hearing was finding out that it was the reason his trial wasn't televised was because the defense team didn't want it televised. They didn't want the world to see Jussie Smollett perjuring himself on the stand. And the judge, in his hour-long diatribe before issuing the sentencing, was like, he flat out said, what you did in this courtroom was pure perjury. You perjured yourself. You lied. The evidence was overwhelming. You didn't want cameras to see it. And now let me tell you what's going to happen to you. And he didn't say jail time right away, so everybody was like, oh, man, he just got probation. And then he ended it with, and the first 150 days of your time will be spent in the Cook County Correctional Facility.
And everybody was like,
yeah. Where's that at? Where's Cook County at?
Chicago. It's Chicago County.
Oh, yeah. God, fuck, no. That's going to be a terrible prison.
And it's not prison. It's Chicago County, so it's all your short-timers who don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to be there. I've had friends that have been there just like overnight, and they have stories. Oh. Sucks to be you.
Well, John got to see a concert to cross off his bucket list this last week.
A concert?
Yeah.
What'd you go see?
Where I saw Sponge.
Oh, man, I love Sponge. I love the Roddy Pinata.
Roddy Pinata, which they played about 95% of. I think there was like 2 songs that they didn't play off the album.
I love that album, and I love Wax Ecstatic. That was another good album they put out.
Yeah. Those are the only 2 albums they have out, actually. I guess they're working on new shit, but I don't know. It sounded great. It was good. It was at the Buddha, so it was small.
Nice.
There's probably about 200, 250 people there, so it wasn't super packed, and it was a good time.
It's a good venue to see bands. A good little club venue. I like the Buddha.
My friend Bob Lucas does sound at the Buddha and has worked there on and off for many, many years.
I know Bob.
You know Bob.
Is he still married to what's her face? The blonde.
I don't know. Whitney Starr? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if they're still together. But anyway, so like I was like, Bob, I really want to get my poster signed by all 5 members of the band. He like grabs me by my arm, drags me to the door that says authorized personnel only. He fucking kicks it open. He's very drunk at this, by the way, after the concert. And we went out back to like the loading dock where like the drummer of the band was. And Bob's like, hey, drummer, come here.
Come here, stick monkey.
Hands the drummer my poster, and he goes, I need everyone in the band to sign this. And the fucking drummer just like went around, found all the other band members, got my poster signed, came back and handed it to me, and I was like, that was fucking weird, but thanks.
That's awesome. That sounds awesome, man.
Is that as weird as passing out in front of your heroes?
Yeah, no shit.
What's as weird as that? I mean, that story is still, probably
makes your asshole pucker.
Yeah. By the way, so that's gonna be a new segment on this show, which is gonna be story time with Uncle Johnny, and I have written down a list of them, and every week I will ask you to pick which embarrassing or fucking weird story you would like me to tell.
Let's do that segment right.
You want me that segment right now?
Bring him up. You should make him big. If he's gonna do story, you should put us at the side and put him all the way up. There you go. Story time.
I love it. All right. So here are the stories you have to choose from so far that I've jotted down. The first story is entitled Duck Raping. The second story is entitled Walmart Indoor Ice Skating Rink. Seagram 7 featuring Skylar Dennison.
I can tell you right now off the bat which one's going to be mine, but go ahead.
Racism at CC's Pizza.
I take it back. Now I'm torn.
So those are the four stories. Racism at CC's Pizza, Seagram 7 featuring Skylar Dennison, Walmart indoor ice skating rink.
Oh, let's see if we get a definitive winner. I'm gonna go duck raping.
I want the last two so bad, but I think we should leave it up to Kim if Kim's watching us. I think we should let the viewer decide.
Hold on, Bob gets a vote.
I want Walmart indoor ice skating.
All right. So Doug, what's your final one?
What did Paul take?
I took duck raping.
Oh, and that's going to be a terrible one because they've got corkscrew penises. I really want the Skylar one. I want the Skylar one, but what was the last one though?
Racism at CC's Pizza.
You know what? We'll do Skylar next week. I want racism at CC's Pizza. I want to know what the fuck that's all.
Kim, you're the tiebreaker.
I still got a milk bucket. A milk jug of pee I got to empty. I forgot about that.
While we wait for Kim's response.
Yeah, when I drink beer on Saturdays instead of getting up to do the podcast, I Joe Rogan it, and I'm real mad about the whole thing.
That is fucking disgusting.
Joe actually gets up and goes to the bathroom, Doug. So don't say you're Joe Rogan.
Do you remember when I did that to you, John? You came to Suncoast to get a Mountain Dew, and I went in the back and peed in a bottle and handed it to you. And you're like, "This is really." You didn't drink it.
No, I don't remember.
This is really warm.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here!
It was after that whole thing. It was after that whole thing with Nikolai happened.
Shut your mouth if you knew it's good for you.
In the Mountain Dew and handed it to you.
Oh,
no, it's a cardigan, but thanks for asking. Pull the goddamn vehicle over.
I totally just forgot about that until just now. You're like, this is really warm. I'm like, yeah, don't drink that.
Don't drink that.
Why would I have gone to Suncoast for a Mountain Dew? I would just go to Auntie Anne's.
Auntie Anne's didn't have Mountain Dew at the time. You were coming over from the you were getting your hair cut by that weird dude.
Oh, that gay guy, that Puerto Rican gay guy.
He wasn't gay. His wife was hot as fuck and worked there with him.
I just figured he was a metrosexual.
Dude, I lived in Florida with a lot of beards. Well, I guess Kim, I might be on a delay.
Maybe.
Paper, rock, scissors between the three of us.
All right, I'll tell you what.
Let John pick.
One of the three? It was duck raping, Walmart indoor ice skating rink, and racism at CC's Pizza. Right?
Yep.
All right, let's tell the best one. Let's go Walmart indoor ice skating rink.
All right.
So,
Kim, if you wanted to hear duck raping, I'm really mad you're not here.
Oh, that's just fucking. It's a weird story. It's not even funny. It's weird and somewhat educational. But anyways,
corkscrew penis.
Corkscrew penises, yeah. So something you should know about me is I hate new shoes. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but when I buy a pair of shoes, I will fucking wear them out until there are fucking holes in them. Because I hate fucking breaking in new shoes. So it's not uncommon for me to have shoes with like no fucking tread left on the bottom to grip surfaces or anything. So one day I get off work and I go to the grill, and I went to the grill just to pick up like some fucking food and shit. And I ended up having, one too many fucking drinks. And I'm like, you know what? Midnight tonight at Walmart, fucking Star Wars, the one where he becomes Vader at the end in the fucking
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith gets released tonight at midnight on fucking Blu-ray. I got a few fucking drinks in me. I'm feeling good. I get my fucking food, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to Walmart. I'm gonna fucking pick up this Blu-ray, go home, eat my chicken wings, and continue drinking and watch this movie.
When did this happen? May I ask? This week? Last week?
The day that movie came out on Blu-ray. Whatever fucking year it was.
Okay. Just trying to. All right, I got you.
Whatever year and date that was. Should have looked it up. Would have been way more professional telling the story.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So, have you guys ever been in Walmart in the fucking middle of the night when they're waxing the fucking floors?
Yes.
Yep.
Have you ever seen the big fucking machines that they go up and down the aisles with?
Yes.
I've used them. Yep.
So I walk into Walmart drunk as fuck. And
November
I see
10th, 2015.
November 10th, 2015, the night of, yes. see the goddamn yellow rope or whatever, and I'm fucking drunk. I'm just like, fuck this. I just go through the fucking yellow rope. I take about 3 fucking steps and I fall down. So then I try to get up.
It's
and I fall down. And I try to get up again. And I fucking fall down because I have no tread left on my shoes. It was like being on a goddamn ice skating rink.
Almost like that yellow rope was trying to tell you something.
And my shoes would not grip to the fucking floor at all. So 2 of the guys waxing the floor had to turn off their goddamn waxers. One had to grab me by the right arm. One had to grab me by the left arm, lift me up, and drag me as my feet are dragging across the floor up into an aisle where there's no wax. And I just look at him.
Keep him on his side. If he vomits, he won't choke on himself.
And I'm like, all right, guys. Thanks, guys. And I walk to the DVD section. I get my DVD.
Jesus. I have not.
Those guys
done
hated
that.
you.
Oh, I'm sure they did. Now, like, we got to re-wax this.
I had to ask the year because when he was telling the story, I'm like, did this happen recently? Is this like, writing recent story shits down? And he's like,
God damn you, Kim.
All right, duck raping's a fucking really quick story. Do you guys?
No, save it. We need the segment for others.
All right, we'll save the segment. Sorry,
Kim wasn't in time. It's not her fault. I forgive you, Kim. I know it's the lag. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
So that, gentleman, is the Walmart indoor.
Speaking of, did Kim get her deodorant and Red Bull can yet?
No, she said she didn't.
I don't see the deodorant behind him anywhere. So
I heard a rumor that she got her sibling revelry merch. I don't know for a fact, but I heard that rumor.
There you go. Let's hit it back to 4, Paul.
Hit it back with where? 4. Oh, yeah. Quit being dumb, Paul. Got it.
Oh, man.
So that was story time with Uncle Johnny. Thank you very much. Not my finest moment, but it was very funny.
It wasn't a bad moment. I mean,
no, we've certainly all been there. I've certainly been there. But
I want to find the guys who waxed the floor and had to re-wax it and clean up your drag marks, and I want to interview them on the show.
I would like to have seen the security footage from Walmart security to see like the tread marks he's leaving behind, and they're dragging them behind. There's just like little feet tread mark.
Dude, it was like the most frustrating thing in the world. Like trying to stand up and get up and just kept falling back down. I was like, I am fucked.
So it's like living up here. I slipped when I got out. You can't see it; it's too bright. But I slipped when I got out of the car the other day. It was so icy up here from the ice storm we had, and I fell right on a patch of frozen ice and mud, and I got cuts all over my hand and shit. But it was
speaking of frozen ice and mud, we had freezing wind here yesterday, guys. It was 80 degrees outside with 25-degree wind.
Didn't it feel good?
It was weird.
Great. It was great.
It's not something we get.
I got a great picture, and I'll pull it up, of the ice storm from here. It coated everything, and it coated my apple tree to where, like, my apple tree had a layer of ice around all the branches. It was pretty fucking dope.
Everything looked really cool, but like you really couldn't walk or drive on anything for like a good day and a half.
Ice storms are no fucking joke. Fuck all that.
We need to have Kim come on so Kim can tell stories.
We've been asking Kim to come on various podcasts
because I'm sure Kim has horrible stories of me that she could tell.
I mean, it's almost like we struck a deal with Kim that if she got merch, she'd come on once she had the merch. And then I heard she got the merch, but she didn't tell me she got the merch. So I mean, I'm not bitter or anything.
It sounds like you are.
I mean, it doesn't sound like you're bitter at all.
No, I talked to her. I talked to her. She can come on. She has an open invitation on our show, at least. I'm assuming she does here.
Sure, yeah.
You want to.
I'm on a 6-minute delay
right now. My neck sucks. Moose cock.
Not as bad as
That's a big cock.
Elon's gonna wonder what's going on in my life because I'm about to Google moose cock because I just want to see what it looks like when it's fully erect.
I'm sure it's got to be huge. I'm
Why-
sure it's
why-
got to be. Bring it up
why
on the
do you
screen
wanna
for all
see
of us
it?
to see.
Why do you want to see?
Come on, Jamie, pull that shit up. Why wouldn't you want to see it? You just got done talking about stories about duck raping and racism.
You guys, you guys gotta see.
I
You
don't
guys
know.
gotta see. You
I
don't
know
see a
how
moose
this-
cock anywhere.
I don't know how I'm going to tell the CC's Pizza story without using certain words and phrases. It's going to be a tough story to tell.
Instead of saying the word that I know you're talking about, just come up with like a instead
it's
of that.
bad. Okay, yeah. Well,
Just
then
say like Nick Cannon. Just say Nick Cannon in place of it.
yeah.
I cannot find a picture. There's just a lot of fan art
I'm googling moose penis right now.
and an overwhelming amount of pictures of moose fucking other animal statues.
All right, that was unexpected.
I can't wait for Doug to see the fan art, like moose cock fan art. Evidently, that's a genre, by the way.
It's a strange looking penis. Yeah.
So I had a question. I had a question for Bob. Bob said he hasn't watched any TV or anything in a couple weeks. But Bob, I want to ask you if you're aware of a film that Netflix recommended to me that was just recently released on Netflix.
What film?
Have you heard of a film called Home Team?
I have not.
Let me tell you about Home Team. Home Team is a Happy Madison production. You know, Adam Sandblast. It stars Kevin James.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know what it is.
Playing Sean Payton. Yes, Sean Payton of the LA or the Saints.
The Saints.
And it's all about the year he took off from football during the
Bounty Gate.
The whole Bounty Gate thing. Oh, that's really pretty.
That's his apple tree.
I was like, is that a moose cock?
It's dripping with with translucent moose semen.
Looks like Jack Frost just busted a load all over your tree.
Yeah, the same effect was on my car, on the house, everything. It was really weird. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off. And I watched this movie with my mom, by the way, John.
So what? So you've seen it? Good. What a fucking fluff piece of shit film that was about Sean Payton.
First off, it was like, do we do this accurately to life? Do we make a comedy, or do we just make a dramatic movie? And they were like, "Fuck it, let's just mix all those ideas up."
Do all three of it.
Yeah,
Can we get Rob Schneider in there to play a Rob Schneider character? Yeah,
Yep.
sure, we'll figure something out.
Sure.
We'll write it in. We'll write it in post.
One thing I will say I enjoyed about the movie is I'm glad that he cast his wife in it.
She's in everything he does.
Well, she's like a main character in there. She plays Rob Schneider's wife, Sean Payton's ex-wife in the movie.
Yeah, that's
she got a lot of screen time. I was like, that's cool. And you know what? The movie really wasn't that bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. It just it is what it is. But the fact that it was just kind of like this major fluff piece on a horrible fucking human being, in my opinion.
Yes.
I got suspended from my job because I told my employees to literally try to kill the opposing teams. And then when I got suspended, I decided to go coach Pop Warner, and I was like kind of a dick to kids in Pop Warner.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that.
Oh, sorry.
Imagine that.
Oh, it's okay, Kim. It's okay.
But
I'll tell you what.
It was something interesting that I stumbled across this week, and
if you want to really watch another good Netflix Happy Madison production, I recommend Hubie Halloween, man. The movie is so fucking good. You know what? I was listening to I was at the bonfire with Big J and Dan Soder, and they had like a bunch of other comedians in the studio like last week or the week before, and I'm not bullshitting. Somebody brought up, like, when's the last time you saw Hubie Halloween? And he's like, Hubie Halloween. One of the guys was in the room. He's like, Hubie Halloween. Who the fuck would watch that or enjoy it? He's like, dude, give it another watch. It's a funny movie. And I'm like, thank God, I'm not the only one, man. Like, there's somebody else.
You're one of two.
You're one of two, apparently.
There's many others.
You're a fucking NFC, Doug.
Doug,
I'm cool with that.
Hoodie right now. How is it? Is it nice? I'm really curious to know, Kim, what the quality of the hoodie's like.
Send her the link. Jump on, Kim, and show us.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Kim, if I
send you
the link. Kim, if I send you the link, are you going to come on? I'll ask the question, let her answer.
She's on a 6-minute delay.
6 minutes later, so we got 6 minutes.
No, I think she refreshed. I'll take a pic later and send it, she said.
Why won't you come on, Kim?
Hey, we're not pressuring her.
Yeah. This is
Kim, fucking do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
See, Kim? Now you're dealing with the brothers from other mothers rapists here.
You won't.
Oh,
you
God.
won't
The interview rapist.
do it.
But hold on. I want to defend Doug. I want to defend Doug a little bit here. I enjoyed Hubie Halloween until I watched the Chantex commercial. And then once I saw the Chantex commercial, the magic was gone.
We're the whole thing, just like Goodfellas.
I don't give a shit, man. Hubie Halloween's a funny movie.
Sucks. What else?
Oh, I got some pit sweating. I'm pitting right now.
Any No Effects fans in the house? Anyone like?
I don't mind. I don't mind.
I don't mind No Effects, but I don't like Fat Mike.
No,
he's kind of a dildo.
Fun fact about Fat Mike: he has the worst podcast I've ever heard in my entire life.
Worse than ours?
Please do not check it out. Oh, it makes us look like fucking Rogan. Oh, it's a piece of shit. It's really bad.
I'm not surprised by that.
But there was one funny thing I heard on his podcast, and I want to share this to you. Right after Stephen Hawking died, Fat Mike and No Effects wrote a song, a very mean song about Stephen Hawking, and the title of the song was called "Is It Too Soon If Time Is Relative?" Oh, come on, that's fucking funny. Doug got it.
I get it.
I got it. It's funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Fat Mike is just such a douchebag, man.
Yes.
Sounds like they need to smoke weed from Doug's perspective. Then they'll understand what the time's really about.
It's true. Then they would understand time.
Who's that old Cheech and... Every time I think about time, I hear that old Cheech and Chong bit with Tommy Chong. He's like, "Oh, hippie, how about you? You want to buy a watch, hippie?" "No, thanks, man. I'm not into time." That's all I think.
I was never a huge Cheech and Chong fan. I mean,
oh man, I love them. I still love them. I remember the day my dad got me into
that.
I'll be honest. My favorite Cheech and Chong film is probably The Biggest Outlier. I like the Korskin brothers.
Not me. I remember the first time I heard Cheech and Chong was a hunting post with my dad, and I was in 6th or 7th grade. Jason Purdue gave me the greatest hits cassette tape, and I listened to it on the hunting post with my dad. And I remember laughing at shit because my dad was laughing at it, but I didn't understand it until years later what like acid was and shit like that. Like those jokes came way later to me, but that was just something that I got to enjoy watching my dad laugh at as a kid. And it was
big. Cheech and Chong were big in our house. Like like he said,
it's funny because he hates pot. My dad hates pot, which is so weird that he introduced me to Cheech and Chong. But
that is.
He was a product of the '70s.
He also introduced us to Porky's. You know.
Yeah, and we watched that super young.
And that movie, to me, I would argue, still holds up as being funny if you grew up in that era. But there's no way a person from this current generation could sit down and watch Porky's and find any redeemable quality about that movie. None. But I love it. I fucking love it.
It's a completely different time, man.
Women
didn't a magical era known as the '80s.
But no, Porky's was made in the '80s, but that movie is set in the 60s.
Set in the '50s. It was set in the '50s.
The Boys of Angel Beach, and they got the Jewish kid was the first Jewish kid on the basketball team, and that became like a whole story plot line because of the hatred that people in the South had for the Jews. That took place in a fictional Angel Beach, Florida, but
that's a world ago. That's a world ago. Nobody hates Jews anymore.
Did you guys ever see the last Great American Virgin or the Last American Virgin?
I did. The Last Great American Virgin is we've actually talked about it on the show. Not on this show. I'll explain to you why it sounds familiar. We talked about it on Bob and Doug Savior from Boredom. There's a documentary called Electric Boogaloo: The Wild Untold Story of Cannon Films. Cannon Films made all the movies we loved as kids in the 80s and 90s, the Masters of the Universe, the Death Wish movies, the Chuck Norris movies, all those over-the-top crazy movies that had expensive budgets and no real plot or star power, but tons of nudity and action. And those guys came over from Tel Aviv, the original group of brothers who started Cannon Films, and their first movie before coming to the States was called Lemon Popsicle. The Last American Virgin is a shot-for-shot Americanized remake that they brought. That was like the first thing and it was their first big hit that made them huge in America, and it's a remake of that movie, and it is a fucked up movie, like as far as like the ending and shit goes.
Yeah, I saw it very young.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, because that came out right when you were like a teenager, maybe even earlier than a teen. I would have said.
Yeah, I was probably like 10.
Yeah,
I've never seen it, but looking at the like pictures and the art, for some reason it gives me the vibe of like a Sure Thing with John Cusack.
Okay, and here's why it gives you this vibe,
fucked up.
Way more fucked up. And the girl, the main love interest in the movie, is the girl who played the love interest in Better Off Dead to John Cusack, the French girl, the international language. She's the main star of this movie. There's
the reason why, like, my subconscious saw her and was like John Cusack.
And in the movie, she's in love with like this hot jock guy, and there's a nerdy guy that she's good friends with, and his group of friends, and they're all trying to get laid in high school, and he's falling in love with her, but she loves this popular sports guy. The popular sports guy ends up fucking her and getting her pregnant, and then denying that it's his baby halfway through the movie. So she goes to the guy who's pining for her through the whole movie and tells him what's going on, and breaks down and realizes he loves her. He actually loves her, unlike this piece of shit. And then gets him to get her to bring her to get an abortion. And that's how the fucking movie ends. The movie ends on her getting an abortion and then leaving that guy to go back and fuck the guy that got her pregnant in the beginning. It's a fucked up movie, dude.
Wait, she gets the abortion and then goes back to the guy who got her pregnant?
There's nothing about this movie that makes sense. They talk about it in the documentary.
Are you kidding me? That sounds fucking awesome.
I'm saying it makes sense. They talk about it in the documentary like it was our big hit in America that launched us, but we still like it got terrible reviews because none of it translated to an American culture. Like nobody understood why this girl got an abortion, and then it ends where she leaves the guy that pays for the abortion to fuck the guy that got her pregnant in the first place.
I know my memories of the 80s are spotty, but I'm pretty sure abortion wasn't a real great idea back then.
It literally, those movies are my favorite era of movies. They're terrible movies.
Did anyone ever seen Night Shift with Henry Winkler?
I own Night Shift.
Yeah,
somewhere I have it on VHS.
I haven't seen that in years, but I remember it being very hilarious as a child.
Very much so. Very much so. So remember John Larroquette and Night Court? Like he made a lot of funny movies too. Like
John Larroquette made Night Court.
Yeah. Well, him and Bull Bull. Yeah, he just passed away. Was it Bull that passed away? No,
John
Larroquette died.
Harry passed away. John Larroquette's still alive. John Larroquette narrated that Netflix Texas Chainsaw movie.
I meant Harry.
Harry passed away.
John Larroquette was in a great movie called Madhouse in the 90s. That was a pretty funny movie, kind of like Money Pit with Tom Hanks. It was very like a knockoff of that, but he's fantastic. He was fantastic. And was it Stripes what he was in?
He's an underrated funny guy, man.
Huh? Oh, I don't know why this topic got me to think about it, but I wanted to say Yellowstone is written by the deputy
by John
chief.
Larroquette.
No, it's written by and I'll tell you why. I'll make the connection once I'm done. The guy who played the deputy chief in the first season of Sons of Anarchy.
Who's the stoner.
And but the reason I said that is because I was like, John Larroquette, what a great supporting actor. And I also feel the same way about Taylor Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan.
I like Taylor Kitsch.
I do too. Taylor, yeah, you do. Taylor Kitsch
Riding Night Lights, bitch.
He's the gay sheriff, bike sheriff in True Detective season 2, and he's also in Waco. Why can I never think of his name from Waco?
The Waco guy.
David Koresh.
David Koresh.
He plays David Koresh.
He did an amazing job of that. Yeah, Tim Riggins on Friday Night Lights, and he did awesome as David.
He's a good actor.
That whole miniseries was done fucking beautifully.
Koresh was really well done.
Yeah, I agree. Have you guys ever seen? It's on Netflix now, but it was on at the similar time as the Koresh the Waco thing. They did it was like a 6 or 7 or 8 part TV series. I want to say it was History or Discovery Channel did it, but you can see it on Netflix. But it was called Manhunt Unabomber, and it had the guy who played Vision in the Marvel movies play Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah, I watched
fucking fantastic series.
Yeah.
Paul reminds me of Ted Kaczynski.
So, Bob, do you have a segment that you want to do?
I don't really have a segment this week. Okay. Yeah, I'll do a segment. It'll just be called A Song You Should Listen to This Week. So
the boxes. How come my square box was the only thing in? Yeah, never mind.
I'm just going to list a song by an artist with no reason or.
Let me bring up Spotify.
You don't have to listen to it on here.
But I'm going to bring it up so I don't forget it because I'm a little stoned right now.
Remember, time's irrelevant for Doug.
It's true.
Dummy. I live in the now, man.
So I'm going to have everyone listen to Upside Down by Jason Richardson.
All right, let me write this down, Bob, so I don't disappoint you again.
Jason Richardson, Tim Henson, and Luke Holland?
Yep.
Okay.
Upside Down.
Oh, man, it looks
By
like
who?
a 8-bit Nintendo cover.
By who?
Jason Richardson.
I promise I will have that for next week.
It's just an instrumental piece. Really
Like Mozart?
crazy. Kind of.
Max Richter just released a new single this past week.
Yeah. No,
I'll tell you what. You want to listen to something? I'll tell you. We're gonna. Oh no, this is Bob's segment. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bob. I got to stop doing that. I got to stop.
my
cutting
other
people off.
segment is there's a song that I played for Johnny Boy, and I got Johnny to cry.
Fuck you.
Hey, man, everyone that's listened to that song has cried that I know.
Yeah,
What song?
get ready. Me, who never goes out, never does anything, get ready to go to a fucking concert, see some friends go out, and Bob drops his heavy ass fucking song on me, driving.
Is it
You know
New
what?
Kids on the Block? Bring Back the
You know
Time?
what, Bob? Fuck you. You're the worst goddamn Uber driver ever. You do
Is
that
it
to
new-
all your goddamn customers. Hey, welcome
No,
to the
not at
car.
all.
Boy, do I have a song for you that's gonna make you fucking sad. Listen to this.
Is it "Bring Back the Time" by the New Kids on the Block and En Vogue? That new song.
No.
that
You're
The name
the
of the
worst
song
hype
is-
man ever.
The name of the song is called Brothers by Gang of Youth.
Oh, okay.
It's a story of his real life and what happened after his father passed away. And it's just very to the point and very
What's
this
his
is
name?
what happened.
The band's called Gangs of Youth, and the song's
Gangs
called
of
Brothers. Paul.
Brothers, yeah.
Paul's putting in the links in the description for people to check out.
No, I'm not. No, that's not at all what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. You should.
I'm setting up a playlist so I can actually listen to these and speak intelligently on them next week.
Brothers is a song that in the middle of a very anthemic album, it just all of a sudden it's a man playing a piano with a simple melody and just telling his life story
And it's
after
very
his father passed away.
straightforward. There's nothing
nothing
left to
hidden.
be imagined. Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing subliminal or anything. It's
No,
very
it's very.
straightforward
This is what fucking happened.
storytelling.
My dad died. My brother stuck in the barrel of a gun.
Yeah, pretty much.
I literally
Did I nail it? Did I nail it?
No.
I pulled up the video. I pulled up the video with lyrics, like where the lyrics are on the screen, and I hit pause just so I could watch it later.
Yeah.
And it's frozen on a screen that says, "Our father hit a lot of painful memories."
I'll be right back. This is getting good now. Hold on.
That is literally the first line of the song.
Yeah, that's. I just hit pause. I
Yeah.
opened it up and hit pause, and that's what it started with. Do you want me to do a dramatic reading? I'll do a dramatic
Yeah,
reading.
do
if you
a
guys
dramatic reading of the lyrics, Paul.
want. Our father hit a lot of painful memories. A bunch of shit he never shared.
He was a pedophile.
I'm not doing
But
that.
when
I'm
he
not
died,
doing
I
that.
went out looking for them. For all the things he never said.
Let me know what's
Thought he was born in 1948, but was born a whole decade before. That's 38 for those paying attention home. Though he was brought up in New Zealand, but he was born and brought up in Samoa. Sorry for the delay. I'm waiting for these words to come up. We thought that he was only half Samoan. This is his mother's. His mother was a German Jew. But I went and found his birth certificate. And he lied about that too.
He was born a woman.
Our
inside.
father's love was unmistakable, and he gave us everything he had. And I guess that meant pretending he was half white. What? To give his kids a better chance. His sister, she lives out in New York City. Been there since I was 17. I think she hates it, but like most New Yorkers, She just can't bring herself to leave. She used to love to watch our father's cooking and imitate the things she'd seen. And now she makes the most amazing things, and she also sings better than me.
You're terrible at reading this.
And when he died, I'm waiting for the words to pop up, and I lost them, Doug.
when he died. I
got to backtrack now.
I would just pull it up on Google, Paul.
I was going to say, why are you going through it karaoke style, man?
Just do it on Google. And pick it up from him when he died.
Gangs of Youth, what was it called?
Brothers. Just take some of the sting out of it, huh, John?
Yeah, sure. Fucking asshole.
Me?
No, he's calling me an asshole.
Oh,
it's
no,
it's a rough song.
I'm laughing at his reading of it. It just is so monotone, and I'm like, why is he reading it like that? I didn't realize that you were watching a thing load up.
That's because that's what I had at the time. All right, so we left off, and
Hold
I think
on,
she hates it.
I'll pick up from you.
Oh, you got it? Go for it.
You son of a bitch.
I've never heard the song, so you know the inflection better than I do. I'm reading it monotone.
This is the worst death poetry jam ever.
My dad.
Where were you at?
You guys like slam poetry too? Me too.
Woman.
Whoa. And when he died, she and her husband stayed to keep my mother company. And even though it fucked them up a lot, they did a better job than me. I wish that I could see them every weekend and she could cook her famous meals. And I wish that I could hang out with her husband more than a couple times a year. Our brother Wesley is a quiet man, and he is the second of us four. He inherited our father's hands, but he looks like me a little more. He's seen police brutality. He lives in Auckland with his wife and dog. He stands a shade above 6'3". Our father left him with a cousin, and he got into trouble frequently. Me and my sister only heard about him in 2018. Our brother Matthew is a baker, and he stands a mighty 7 feet. He was brought up in a Maori family, and he speaks Tereo fluently. He didn't know about our father till I guess he was about 18. He did some time for something awesome, and he's the sweetest guy you'll ever meet. He came to meet me at a festival, and he told me everything he knew. That our father left him at the hospital, but if he forgives him, then I should too. I know our father had his reasons, but that can never make it right or fair. And I hate myself for stealing all his love when my brothers thought that he was dead. So as I dig through the collateral of all the secrets he hid throughout the years, I know that I'll hardly ever answer them, but in a way it'll keep him near. He found out after his father died that he had two brothers, and the brothers thought this guy had been dead since they were children. Like, it's fucked up.
Sad. Yeah. Very sad.
But like he said, if the guy who got left at the hospital as a baby can forgive him,
Yeah.
People do fucked up things.
All right, well, gentlemen, we gotta wrap this up here. We're coming up on an hour, and I got.
Oh, I guess I got no topic.
Doug's got something. Go, Doug.
Yeah, Doug. What do you got, Doug? Go.
Oh, hold on.
That's my topic for this week. That's my recommendation. It's not as good as Gangs of Youth Brothers, but Kid Rock, We the People.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I fucking hate Kid Rock so much.
And Upgrade Hip Hop's new album. I keep talking about that.
New album is it's a very good album.
It's my favorite that he.
It's not my favorite he's done.
Right now, it's my favorite. It's the one I listen to the most.
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot, but it's not my favorite.
Fucking love it. Pick a Card, Any Card is my favorite song on that album. Recommend it wholeheartedly.
Although I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of one of those people that, for a lot of artists, when I discover an artist, that first album that I discover them on tends to be my favorite album.
Right. Because you connect to it, like you have that link that
you have that emotional connection of that's when you discovered them.
There's an Upgrade.
I obviously don't know. I was gonna say I don't know Upgrade as well as you guys, but I do appreciate and this has nothing to do with the music. I really enjoy the album art that I've seen online that go along with it. Like
he's an awesome
that shit. You got to think about that besides the music. Like,
awesome guy, very smart, very funny. Just everything about him that he puts into it, from the artwork to the music, and that he's just I like how his brain works.
Tom is just a good dude. I mean,
I'm trying to find a song that I can't find on Spotify that I remember listening to last year in the summer when I was working out, and it was it wasn't More Indifferent, but it was a song similar to More Indifferent, and at the end of the song, it was like some lady doing a voiceover at it, like instead of saying, "I'm sorry."
Oh yeah.
What song is that?
Let's move out and then move through.
Let's move forward. It's yeah. But I can't find it. I can't think of the name of it anywhere.
I think it's on Broken Pieces.
I'll have to look it up. I thought that would have been one that
I own so many of his albums. I can't tell you what tracks are on which album anymore.
I thought it would have been on Broken Pieces, but More Indifference on there. But I also know that there was a song he released similar to one of those songs that he ended up he takes out from time to time, and I can't think of what it was, but I check Broken Pieces. When I like a song,
just message him.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll message him.
I mean, it's not like he won't answer, either one of us.
I got to message him anyway too. I got to talk to him about it. He said he'd consider doing an intro song for the sibling revelry for a decent price, but I gotta talk to him about it.
There was two brothers and they were conservative.
I was thinking it'd be awesome to have him do like a country style rap, like a hip hop thing. That'd be funny as shit, but we'll see.
I bet he'd charge you extra for hip hop.
He's a good dude. He gets the joke of all that shit too, man. I would like to see him. I'll tell you what, if he ever gets booked on a Gathering of the Juggalos, mark my word, I will make the time to go to the Gathering of the Juggalos that year to see him perform.
He's so good live, dude. I had so much fun watching him live with Weird Science.
I would have loved to have seen him.
And he's so good at winning over a crowd of people he doesn't know at all.
Is that how you met him, through Josh?
That's how I first heard of him, and then I saw him and Josh were playing a show together in Orlando, opening for Sadistic, and that's the first time I met him in person.
Gotcha.
He did his set, then Weird Science did their set, and then they came out and did some stuff together. And so that's how I first heard of him.
I think his episode Upgrades. I think Upgrades episode of Bob and Doug is probably one of the best.
It's one of my favorites.
It's so open and just so real.
Mm-hmm. You and I were sitting down for a half hour. He'd come on. This was using Discord, and he came on, and he's like, I'm going to be with you guys in 20 to 30. He's like, but I got to grab a bite to eat. He's like, I've been running around. We're like, all right. And he turned the camera off, so it was just a black box on the screen. And him and Bob and I are talking, and we start talking about, I don't even know how we got on the topic of it, but we started talking about porn. And
amputee porn,
and then just out of nowhere, I thought that we were alone. And Tom had come down from his room to grab something out of the fridge and heard me over the computer talk about my favorite kind of porn is amputee porn. And then he jumped. He's like, "What the fuck did I just?" All you saw was a black box on the screen, and it lit up. He was like, "What the fuck did I just hear?"
He's like, "I gotta finish my drink. We're gonna continue this conversation."
And it became one of my favorite things. That was an absolute joy to record. It was one of those times where it's I'm going into this and I don't know anything about the guy other than I like this album that I heard of his. And it was
I look forward to having Tom on again because he's just
it was awesome.
Having Tom on is kind of like having Skylar on. Even though we know Skylar a lot better, it's easy to talk to Tom. Just like I found it super easy to talk to Josh.
Because like Josh, Tom has had such a fascinating life and lived all over and done so many different jobs, from editing porn to making music. He just got so much good stories to tell. So many good stories. I said literally a lot too. Thank God I didn't say that enough last night. I caught myself, but Jesus Christ, I got to curb that.
All right, boys, we ready to close this one out?
I think Paul has a parting shot that he would like to say.
Oh, I just want to do the promotional stuff. Follow Brothers from Other Mothers on all of our social media. Links are in the description, as well as Sibling Revelry and Bob and Doug Save You from Boredom. Everything's down in the description.
Also, watch Yellowstone, according to Paul.
Oh, watch Yellow and 1883, the prequel.
I'll say this. if you like, Paul hit it on the head with Godfather, but if you like Justified, I can't imagine you not liking Yellowstone.
I'm sure I'll watch it right now, man. It's all about finding time to do anything.
Oh, no, I get it.
With it being spring break down here, I am just fucking slammed.
I got caught by surprise because I watched Reacher and I was like, oh, this is the best show I'll ever see in 2022. And then I finally broke down and watched the first 4 seasons of Yellowstone because we got Peacock. And I might have to say Yellowstone gets moved up to either number 1 or number 2 in favorite shows of all time.
Wow.
A week ago yesterday, last Saturday, Paul and I, we both started watching Yellowstone season 1.
Sunday.
He burned in a week. He burned through all 4 seasons and then went.
God damn, dude!
I watched all 4 seasons, 1883, and now I'm rewatching Yellowstone, and I'm at the end of season 2 right now.
That's hardcore, man. I can't do that.
It's that good. It's like I feel like a loser, but like something hasn't captured my attention like this in a long time.
No, I get it. Like I did that with Yellow Jackets. But Yellow Jackets, I had to wait because they were coming out weekly.
That's what I do enjoy. I do enjoy finding a show after it's been running for a few seasons, where I could just binge it like that.
Marathon, I'm the same way. All right, guys, my groceries are here. I got to sign off. I love you guys.
All right,
all right.
Hey, man. I'm a big fan of getting my groceries delivered.
I'm a big fan of being a man and doing it myself.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck that. It's hot.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good one, guys.
Next time we come out, we'll announce when we're coming out. Bob, have a good one. Take care.
Yeah, I'm off.
Bye, everybody.